What's up, Houston? It's Lisa again, bringing you another local story. This one coming from KPRC 2 here in Houston. Again, all views are my own. I do not give advice, so please think for yourself and decide for yourself. And not all content is always appropriate for children. Thank you for being here, and without further ado, I will play this short video and be back with a few comments for you. Be blessed.
And now to the crisis at the border. There is trouble looming in the immigration court system. There is an uptick in cases being dismissed.
KPRC 2 investigator Robert Arnold is breaking down what's behind the problem from our newsroom this evening. Robert.
New data shows an increasing number of immigration court cases are being dismissed because required paperwork is not getting filed. Both attorneys and advocates say it is a symptom of a system plagued by a growing backlog of cases and shifting priorities. There have been more than 1.6 million apprehensions along the southern border this fiscal year, and the federal government can't detain everyone caught crossing the border until their case is decided. Those not considered a threat are then released into the U.S. with notices to appear in immigration court at a later date. But new data from the Transactional Records Access Clearinghouse show a growing number of these cases are getting dismissed because notices to appear are not being filed with the courts. New track data shows in 2018, just 0.3% of cases were dismissed because an NTA wasn't filed. So far this year, that number jumped to 16.6%.
It's chaos right now.
That's how Houston immigration attorney Raed Gonzalez describes what he's seeing in immigration court. Beyond cases dismissed due to a lack of paperwork, he sees a lack of consistency in how the federal government is handling the more than 1.8 million cases backlogged in immigration court.
One day they want to dismiss a case because it's not a priority, and another day they say, I don't have instructions, I cannot do that anymore.
Gonzalez says cases dismissed because NTAs don't get filed can be refiled and likely will be. But until that happens, immigrants involved in those cases live in a state of limbo.
It's kind of a hit or miss still.
Head of the immigrant rights organization, FIEL, Cesar Espinosa, says shifting priorities is far from a recent problem, and he believes it's part of the reason for the backlog in immigration court.
At the end of the day, this is not something new to the Biden administration. We have seen it for some time now, and until we reform the system, we won't see any change for the better or for the worse.
Last year, President Biden administrations announced it only wanted to focus on cases involving immigrants who pose a threat to public safety, national security, and those recently caught crossing the border. A federal court judge struck down that policy after it was challenged by states like Texas and Louisiana. The U.S. Supreme Court is expected to take up the issue this fall. We also reached out to the Department of Homeland Security regarding NTAs not getting filed and have not yet received a response. Live in the newsroom, Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.
Okay, so obviously the first thing that comes to my mind, in my opinion only, again, is loopholes. Seems to be a common theme throughout some of these issues. I am not heartless. This is horrible, and these people do not deserve to be used like this, and the treks that they make are very dangerous, let alone what they have to deal with when they get here. However, we as Americans need to take a look at the system, and it needs to be reformed and fixed. Again, one positive way we can do that is at the ballot box. Another way that we can do that is by speaking up. And there are many other things that we can do. And I hope that you, in your community, be it here in Houston or wherever you are, can do that. Because that is what our country needs right now. That is what these children that are coming across unaccompanied, by the way, in some cases, that's what they need. It's not right. It's wrong. There's no gray. Real people get hurt in many different ways. So, on that note, all the links for the videos that I play, the source videos, are always in the description box below. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. And also, I'm always interested in your thoughts. You don't have to agree with me, and you don't have to disagree with me. You just have to think for yourself. Have a blessed night.